welcome back to another video for 29 Days of Freya. This video is just going to be kind of me gathering a bunch of notes. There will be some personal stuff, but this is going to be kind of like my animal associations video. So I'm going to gather a bunch of websites and stuff that have information along with my own experiences and compile it into a video for you. Today's is going to be color associations with Freya. Unlike last time, I'm gonna give my thoughts about colors and stuff first and why I associate those colors with her. And then afterwards, I will give some of the research websites that I've done and go into those and what those colors could be associated with. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first colors that I think of whenever I think of Freya are the colors gold, white, and silver. Why do I think of these colors? With gold and silver, those are kind of treasures. Oftentimes she's sort of represented as crying gold or having treasures that are gold. When you first see her, her hair is golden parts of the time, or for her main aspect, that's how I see her. So gold is very prevalent in that nature. Also amber as well because of her Brisingamen, and it's said that when her tears touch the water or whatever, the sea, that they turn to amber or gold. I personally, with the color gold, as I started first working with Freya, and I usually only wore silver jewelry for the most part. When I first started working with her, I only wore gold jewelry, and that wasn't on purpose. I just started having sort of an inkling to do it. And I started buying a bunch of gold jewelry, which I don't do anymore. Like, I don't wear it as much anymore. And I think that was due to her influence. I think she likes gold jewelry more so. So yeah, sort of the silver and gold vibes with her, as well as amber. Now, white for me is sort of like meaning clarity. It makes me think of a fresh, clear canvas, right? There's so much opportunity there. And I think she really opens up the door for this very often. Also, like I said in the animal associations video, I see Freya often as a white heron or a white aigrette. That's kind of the reasons why I associate those with her. The silver part kind of goes hand in hand, but I'd also like to say that gold and silver make me think of the sun and the moon, and I think she relates to both of them. Now I kind of wanted to get into more of her Geffen aspect. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but that's kind of like her Earth Mother vibes, kind of Gaia-esque vibe. Here are some of the colors I associate with Geffen. Green, red, pink, purple, blue, and then sort of a wheat brown or like kind of a tan-esque color, harvest colors, I guess. And that's just because they those all remind me of earthy colors. The dress I see her in is usually kind of a green shade. Her hair in the Geffen aspect for me is straight and red, very fiery red when I see her in that aspect. Or almost a strawberry red, like a strawberry blonde kind of thing going on. The pink, blue, and purple kind of goes in because whenever I first saw her in this aspect, the sky was kind of that morning. So those colors kind of fit in with that, in my opinion. It's just more visual, like how I saw her in my mind. And that's why I associate it with that. With the Mardal aspect, obviously it's gonna be quite different because when I saw Mardal, the visual scheme is very different. So it's like darker, and Mardal I see as kind of her darker figure or aspect. So the colors I see with Mardal are blue, gray, black, sort of a sand or tan color, white, and a very light blonde hair. So like a light kind of blonde color, sort of gray greens, and then also navy. Just very dark colors in general is kind of the area of that. Very strongly gray or like bluish grays are very prevalent with that. Let's move into some research I've done on colors that are prominently said to be associated with Freya. I will be leaving all the links down below for the websites that I found these from. I researched 4 different websites primarily for this, and all 4 of these websites listed red as a color for working with Freya. And I can kind of understand this because It's primarily associated with sex, and especially for me, more passion, I would say. And I can say Freya is a very passionate goddess, so I understand why that fits in. I chose it as a color for more of the Geffen aspect, but I think it could also probably work for her war aspect or whatever. Just because it's a red for me is a very passionate color, and I usually see red more as either rage or fiery and passionate. Although I can see where this color comes in for sex and love too. Depending on who you are, you'll see that color association differently. So 3 out of these 4 websites listed black as a color for working with Freya. I can also see where this one comes in because black can be sort of a protection color. It can be a color to get rid of negativity. So that kind of makes sense because she's seen as, I guess, like a light goddess, although I would argue that that doesn't make her astray from the darker things. But to me, black more associates with power and strength. And listen, Freya is so strong and so powerful. There are many that fear her. So I would say, yes, absolutely, black could be a great color for working with her. I would even list that under the Mardal aspect personally, but you know. 3 out of those 4 websites also listed green as a prominent color, so did I for Geffen. Green can be associated with fertility, which Freya is a fertility goddess, so you know that kind of goes hand in hand. It can also be a color of growth, expansion, nurturing, etc. Just kind of makes you think of like Earth and Gaia-esque things. That's why I listed it under the Geffen aspect. 2 of these websites also listed silver as a color, and I listed silver as well. Silver is kind of a color associated with elegance, which I really fit Freya with, but she has sort of this wild elegance about her, and I don't really know how to explain it better. But silver can also be seen as kind of like a sophisticated color associated with riches, money, and stuff like that, treasures, and also connected to the moon, like I was saying earlier. 2 out of those 4 websites also had gold as a color, which I personally think is one of the primary colors for Freya. Gold can be associated, of course, with riches and treasure. It can also be associated with courage, which I strongly feel. Even magic. Freya is known to have certain bits of magic that are special, like satyr magic and stuff like that. So the whole magic thing, like, I think of gold when I think of magic, right? Like, that kind of vibes with me well. I don't know if it works for you personally, but I could see that association there. And gold is also connected to the sun, like I was saying. So sun and moon vibes are very strong with Freya for me. 1 out of those 4 websites connected her to the color blue, which I agree with, but more specifically for the Mardal aspect than anything. Blue can be kindness, emotions. It can be connected to the water or the sea, kind of fluidness, things like that. Some people would associate it with being sad. I don't personally see it as necessarily sad, but it can be. It's more of like deep and going within. Those are kind of the things like intuition and things like that. That's what I think of when I think of blue. And then the last color that we have is white. Only one of those websites listed white as being an association, but I consider that one of the top ones. So, you know, whatever. Like I was saying earlier, it kind of, for me, goes into clarity. Like, I think of that and the whole blank canvas thing, like new starts, new beginnings, having a blank page and ready for anything. I think that's a part of it, being ready for anything and being able to do anything. It's that kind of excitement level too. Like, you can literally do anything with this blank canvas. Also kind of gives me like the love and light vibes too. I know not everybody would be down with that, but that's kind of where I connected. So those are some of the color associations with Freya. I hope this information helps you along your path, wherever you're at. I hope below you share some of your own color associations in your workings with Freya, or just your hunches on what you think might be good colors for working with Freya, because we'd all be interested to hear about that. That is all for this video today. I hope to see you guys in the next 29 Days of Freya videos. And until then, much love. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.